Alrighty, so let's see here. I got a confession to make. It's gonna sound crazy. I know it will. But I have the ability to predict the future, the future, the future. No, I don't have the ability to predict the future. I just, you know. No, what I do have is effectively nightmares, alright? It occurs every now and then. You know, and it basically tells me that, hey, yeah, something's bad is going to happen within the next 5 or so months or weeks or tomorrow. For example, you know, I'll be like pissed off one day thinking about uh Raj or whatnot, thinking about killing him and all of that. And then the next damn day, speak of the fucking devil, and he shall appears. He's not in the yard. He's not obviously in this yard, but you know, he's at the very least, you know, in the trailer park or over there helping, Ricky out. And, the thing is that, like, ain't that just something? I get a spurt of irritation as if Roger's going to appear one day or 1 minute, and he does. And then, of course, take for example, uh, in regards to my nightmares, you know, they'd be like, oh, yes, I have a nightmare about, using their example, one of the chickens dying, for example. Now, those who's been with me for the last year or two knows that I used to have, at least like, entirely different flock than what I currently have now. Cloud, Dark, Shy, and Curious. Well, as you can probably assume, they're all dead. And the thing is that before they die, I usually have a nightmare or two several months in advance or several weeks in advance of their death. Be like, ah, yes. For example, Shy. When she died, I had an entire nightmare several months in advance, and you know, and she basically, perished practically several months after. And looks like there's another watermelon. Pretty much like several weeks to months after I had that nightmare. Or for example, uh, like in regards to James, those who remembers James, okay then, that happened. Yeah, those who remember James basically be like, ah, yes, the Thing. Yes, I remember him, and just let you know, like, how long are you gonna plan to stay there? I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. But butterfly on me, drinking up the salt water that my sweat glands are producing. Fun fact about butterflies: they're attracted to shit as much as they are to flowers, like to poop, feces, and all that. Beautiful bug. Anyhow, as they be saying, so those who remember James remembers that, and it's gone now. remembers that James is like one of my past bullies in life, abusive brother, put it simply. And every time I were to have a nightmare ahead of time of me and him getting into a fight, you know, where I'm trying to fight him off or, trying to fight him and all of that, fight back or whatnot, be like, you know, usually a warning sign ahead of time is practically screaming to me that, hey, yeah, no, you're going to get into a fight with James. You're going to, fight him tomorrow or within an hour or two type of scenario. And I know this, like I would know this ahead of time type of scenario. I don't, and tell you the truth, every time these types of scenarios happens, I don't really like the idea that every time I have a nightmare, it practically comes true. It's not, like, oh, well, I'm predicting the future. It's just a coincidence more than anything. I wouldn't go as far as it's saying predicting the future. The same can be said about me going outside was like heavily raining and all of that, lightning, thundering, and this happened about a month or two ago. I wish I got it on camera, but okay. Yeah, I wish I got it on camera, but I wasn't able to get it on camera because at that time I didn't have this current phone that I have. But anyway, but walk like I was walking to the store, to the grocery store, and then back home, you know, went walking and the storm started, like picked up, then died down like that. Or be like not last night, but be like another example where several weeks ago there was another storm and I went outside. I remember making a video on this one where I went outside and not 20 minutes later, the storm dies down. Coincidences, but it feels like that every time I go out into a very bad storm, it's usually like 10, 15 minutes later, it stops, outright stops in a way. Like, oh my god, I'm protected by Christ. And I highly doubt it. If I was protected by Christ, uh, I'm kidding. I could be protected by Christ. I could be the chosen one. Blah, blah, blah. But that's what, a self righteous person would say or have one put it. Where's coincidences? Yeah. Of course, however, I wouldn't be surprised if humanity, all of humanity, has a latent ability for our species to be able to predict the future or something like that. I would not be surprised, but at the same time, it would be surprising if that makes sense. Of course, at the end of the day, it's all nonsense. But yeah. But that's the end of this video. Peace out. And yeah, if you got any suggestions for future topics or for future videos, post them in the comments below. And let's reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. Once we do, then I'll show you my glorious face. glorious face. So you have my location, my face, and my name. I've already gave y'all my location. Now then, send your death threats and bomb squads and stuff. I'll introduce them to tea and biscuits. Bye.